podcast. For those of you who don't know by now, my name is Caroline, and you can find me on Ravelry as Wolbox, on Instagram as Wol_box, and you can find my Etsy shop at zazuyarns.etsy.com. I'm back, as you can see. We've had a great 3 weeks. We've seen so many things. We've traveled a lot. We've experienced a lot. But I will tell you about that later at the end of this episode. So if you're interested, you can see that. And if you're not interested, you can just watch the episode until the part where I start rambling on about the holiday. So we can just start with the knitting part, because I missed this. I wanted to record podcasts from Indonesia, which I did. I just did one from Bandung, as you might know. The second two, I just couldn't get it to work. We were traveling so much. The internet was really, really bad. I couldn't even open my email for a number of times, so I was like, I can record one, but chances of getting it up on YouTube, well, that normally already costs me a lot of time, are actually none. So I just thought, let's enjoy my holiday, and I will see you guys when I get back. And I am back, so we can just do that again. Before I start showing you my first FO, I do want to say a big thank you to Tanya from the Sampler Girl podcast. While I was on my holiday, she gifted me her newest shawl pattern, which is called the French Outlander shawl, which she knit out of my own hand-dyed yarn. So that's really cool. So Tanya, thank you very much. I already know for who I'm going to knit this shawl, so thank you very much. It's a lovely pattern, and so do check that out. Let's start. My first FO is the Succulent Shawl by Maria Monska from the Stitch in Sweden podcast. I already showed you this as a test knit. Well, the pattern is already up and I'm still not finished. So sorry, Maria, but the holiday, it was too much. But this is where I am. Whoops, yes. I've started knitting. Oh, this is better. I've started knitting on the 6th repeat, which is the last one. Oh, yeah. You can see it like that. It's all the same repeats. And I started knitting on the last repeat. And after that, it's actually a lacy border, or a section in between, and then a lacy border, and then it's finished. So I am really looking forward to getting some time here and finish it. Although I do have to say that this Friday already I'm leaving for Paris for work. So chances are I'm not going to finish this week, because with all the laundry I have to do, getting back, and all the things I have to catch up on, I'm probably not going to finish this until, well, I don't know, but probably not this week. But I do really like the pattern still, and I can't wait to get to the next section. So let's hope I will have some time to do that. Oh, and I'm knitting this with my what's this? Knit Pro Nova needles in 4mm. And this is the yarn. I already showed you this a few times. It's a, I think it was a Falkland Merino blend with, what's it called? Oh, I don't remember. I will try to remember later. And it's not really focusing. Oh, yes it is. And I think it's a lovely fall color, this color. So I think when this is done, this will be really nice to go with either my black or my dark blue coat. So I really love that. And I have to say, getting back, it's a big temperature difference. We got out of the plane, and in Indonesia it was between 30 and 40 degrees Celsius, which is hot. And over here it was 7 degrees in the morning when we got out of the plane, which is really cold. And I wasn't wearing any jacket or whatever. I just had a hoodie on. So Steve and I looked at each other like, oh my god, we just stepped into fall big time. But whatever, can't help it. And I do love the seasons, so, and I'm looking forward to the holiday season, so yay. So that's that. Then I started something new, because I don't finish stuff, I just start new stuff. Right, it's a little bit weird, but the first thing, or actually the second thing I started, but it's the first thing that I can grab here, and it's all tangled because everything's tangled because everything went on the plane, and that's not good for your yarn, I guess. The second thing I started are these mittens, which are also by Maria Monska, and they are called the Meristem mittens. And I just did the first thing, like the first part, the cuff. So I'm just in, but I could not wait to start this, and it's so not focusing again. Come on, camera. You have to get back from your holiday as well. Yes. And I'm knitting this out of my newest colorway, which is not really coming out right on the screen, but I can't help that. Which is Fox in the Woods. And you can see the ball here. Focus! Yes. And again, the colors are not really coming out right, but I don't know. I still have to check the settings on this camera and maybe try something new, or I don't know, try something at least to make sure it's better. But I will try to do that next week or the week after that. So I just started this knitting on this pattern, but I love those mittens so much, and I obviously, oh, I do have the, do I have the pattern here? I think so. I don't know. Oh, no, I don't. Sorry. I didn't print it out. I just had it on my phone. But it's a lovely pattern. You should really look it up. It's Meristem by Maria Monska. And it's just, if you are looking for some really nice gloves for not too cold weather, just really the autumn kind of gloves, depending on where you live, obviously, check this pattern out, because it's really wonderful. And you can knit it with sock yarn, which is really nice as well, I think, because that's the yarn I have the most. Then I started, yay, finally, my featherweight cardigan. And I already showed you the yarn, I guess, before from my haul at Stephen and Penelope's in Amsterdam. And then on a nice day in Indonesia where Siep went out to go diving, I thought, let's sit in the shadow and knit a bit. So this is where I am. So it's still the beginning. It's a top down sweater. So I'm like somewhere here. I don't know. And for those of you who don't know, I have a pattern here to show you. I actually have it in a book, so I copied it. But this is the pattern. This is what it's going to look like. The only modification I am going to make is that I will do the border here, which is attached later on. Well, not attached later on. You pick up the stitches from the side and the neck, and then you knit it. I will do that in rib stitch instead of plain stockinette, so it won't roll like that. And I want to try to do longer sleeves, depending on how much yarn I have, and make the sweater a little bit longer because I'm a long girl, so, well, woman, I guess. So if I would knit it in the original length, I think it would come up to my belly button, and that's not really what I like to wear. So hopefully I will be able to knit on that more and finish it before it gets warm again. But the fun thing about knitting this is it's so mindless. You can just pick it up, leave the pattern where it is because you don't really need that, and just go. And I really needed that when we were away, I guess, because I don't know, you're traveling and we were in trains, and if you're knitting then and it's pretty busy in the trains, you can't really have your pattern next to you and write things down and stuff. There were no tables or things like that, so the only thing that really worked was something I could just knit on, just go. So it's coming along. I think I started this like a week ago, and so I did quite a bit on it. And I think, well, I have a little bit to go, and then I can separate the sleeves and work on the body, and then pick up for the sleeves. And well, it's a pretty simple pattern, but it's really lovely. And I'm knitting that out of the Malabrigo lace yarn in the colorway Pearl 10. And that's this yarn. I already showed you that before. And I know this is mirrored, but maybe you can read it. It's Pearl 10, and it's 069, the number of the colorway. And I have 4 skeins of this, and now, having this knit, I have this left of the first skein. So I think I will manage to come a long way with 4 skeins. And it's 50 grams. And the needles I'm using are, again, Knit Pro Novas, and I believe this is 3 or 3.5 millimeters. So it's a little bit smaller than the pattern says, but my yarn is also smaller than the pattern says. So So I'm actually knitting a slightly or a few sizes bigger than I would have in the right yarn, which is stock yarn size, I guess. And I didn't do a swatch, so let's just hope for the best and hope that it'll fit. But I have a good feeling about it. I don't know. We'll see. Then, oh, yes, I have to talk to you about something. I have a confession. I've been diagnosed with second sock syndrome. I don't know what's going on, guys, but if I'm honest, and if you guys paid attention, which I hope you didn't, but you probably did, and you look back a few episodes, then you see a lot of socks passing by, and you never saw a second sock. And that's because I never finished the second sock. I knit on a variegated yarn from Drops, I remember, and I believe that sock is somewhere hiding in a box. I knit on these mermaid socks, and I have a really lonely sock here. The second one is still on the needles, and I'm just not finishing it. And it's got nothing to do with the fact that I don't like the pattern, or that I don't like the Fish Lips Kiss Heel, or that I don't like the yarn, which is my own yarn, and I love the way it knits up in these socks. But, ooh, and there you can see it. It's even worse, because you see what happened? Oh my god, I took the needles off. Oh, it's so... This doesn't look like I want to finish it, right? Not at all. Although I do, but I don't know, it just gets boring. And the fact is, the problem I have with socks is, it's mindless until the heel. And then I have to write stuff down, because I want the second sock to be exactly the same as the first sock. So the first sock is kind of mindless, because I just go and I'd be like, oh yeah, this is long enough, this cuff, and I'll just start the heel here. But the second sock, I have to pay attention, because I want it to be exactly as many rows for the cuff before I start the heel as the first sock. And then I just lose interest, because sock knitting to me is something you do while traveling, or, you know, in the car. Obviously not when you're driving, but when you're in the passenger seat, or I don't know, when you're talking to someone, or I don't know, it's just something that's really simple to take with you, also to knit night, for instance. But if I'm chatting with someone, I can't look at a pattern or look at my notes and just check and count all the rows, because then now I have to count these rows. But I'm not going to do that while I'm talking to someone, because I'm sorry, I can't. So I'm just not finishing the second sock. So I'm going to have to do something about this. This is not good. I feel terrible. And especially because this really weird ball, it's a ball and a cake. It's a caul, maybe. I just want this to look normal again, like small, and have two pretty socks out of it instead of this weird ball. So you guys have to help me. What on earth am I going to do with this? I don't know, because the first thing that comes to mind when I think about finishing all those second socks is, oh no, but what about my featherweight? And then I already think I am never going to finish those second socks, which I think it would be a shame, because these are nice socks, right? Or, well, this is a nice sock, and it would be really nice to have a second one. So you have to help me, because obviously Seep's hiking socks are not finished as well. And the stupid thing is, I didn't even start the second sock. I mean, I didn't even finish the first sock. I still have this. It's exactly the same as when I put it in this lovely bag of Mina and took it with me to Indonesia. So it traveled with me all the way, and it never really saw the Indonesian sunlight, I guess. So, and that's, for this one, it also has to do with the fact that I had a knot in the yarn. And I just thought, well, let's continue knitting on it. It'll be fine. And then when I did a few rows, I thought, the knot is exactly on the top of the foot, which will feel awful. So I think I have to go back. And I just don't want to go back. I just don't want to rip a few rows out and have all the fumbling going on with putting the needles back in and dropping stitches and stuff. I just thought, oh, I'll just wait with doing that until I feel like it. But when will I feel like it? I don't know. I don't think there will be a time that I will feel like doing that. So I just have to power through, and I'm not doing that. But this is a knot. You can see it pretty well, I guess. It's only a few rows. So, I feel a challenge coming up, although I don't want to. But I'll think of something, and if you have ideas, please let me know, because I hear these socks crying every night from their bags. I can't sleep with all those socks laying around, and I know that in the yellow box, which is over there, there are a few projects as well in their summer, winter sleep. So I need to finish that. And also the socks that I mentioned before that I kind of didn't talk about anymore on this podcast. And I did that on purpose. Yes, I'm guilty. Sorry. So help me with that if you know something. If you know a way to keep me motivated to finish this stupid socks. Okay, let's just get out of the sock thing. I'm just going to put you in the right position again. Then I have some pattern news. My shawl pattern, which I showed you before, a few episodes back, it will be coming out really soon. So, keep an eye out for that. I don't know, it'll maybe it will be next week or the week after that, depending on how much time I will have to finish it, because as I already said, this weekend I will be in Paris for work, and because I'm also working this week, I don't have time. But my test knitters are almost done. One is already done. So that's nice. And, well, I think all the errors are out, but I still have to add some stuff to the pattern and make some nice pictures. So, keep an eye out for that. Then, stash enhancements. I don't have stash enhancements. I did buy a knitting book, which was a Japanese knitting book in Indonesia, which I don't have here because I'm too, I don't know, my mind is still all over the place, I don't know, I just didn't bring it. But I will show it to you later, if I remember. But I couldn't find any yarn in Indonesia. I did see one shop in Jakarta, but it only had commercial yarns, which I could also buy here. Imported yarns, which were actually pretty expensive, and not really nice yarns, so I was like, what's the point in buying that? So, not really the nice yarn I was hoping to find, but hey, you can't have it all, right? But there's something really nice coming up, because I did a swap with Maria Montka from the Stitched in Sweden podcast. I already sent my package to her before I left, and she just sent her package to me, so somewhere this week I will have new yarn. And it's a really good thing because Siep can't say anything about it because I didn't purchase any new yarn. So if you are looking to buy new yarn, but you don't actually want to buy it because your husband or your boyfriend or whatever will have an opinion about that, just swap. Works like a charm, right? Then my Etsy shop, that was really fun. As I already said, my best friend was looking after the shop, and the first few days she said, well, I'm doing fine. I didn't get any orders yet, so I'm doing fine. And then there was some kind of explosion with some pretty big orders, of one of which she actually needed my help with. But it was really fun because I don't know. It was funny. She was constantly telling me like, okay, let it go. I'll do it. It's fine. I can do this. Just go hiking somewhere or catch a train or whatever. And I was constantly like, oh, is this going okay? And is it going well? And don't you need any info or I don't know. Don't forget to put the address on the package. And she was like, okay, Caroline, shut up. Just go catch a train. And it was fun to leave everything to her and like learn from it as well, because I'm kind of a, how do you say that? Control freak. So that's why I always want to do things myself, drive myself, everything, I guess. So it was a good thing for me to just have to let stuff go, not be able to see everything, and just let her do it. And she did a great job, so I don't know what I was worried about. So thank you again. And that also meant I obviously couldn't dye anything these past 3 weeks. So I have to dye some stuff up right now because there are quite a few colors that are out of stock, and you guys all jumped on the Fox in the Woods color, which was really nice. And I will be dyeing that up really soon because it's just a really fun color. So I will do that. And some other news, I will try and come up with a really nice Christmas colorway or holiday season colorway. I haven't figured out what I'm going to do really, but just be patient and I will hopefully show that to you soon. Probably not next week because of the Paris thing again, but the week after that I will try and have a big shop update. Then I guess I only have my I don't know, my rambling about the holiday left for you guys. So if you don't want to see that, I completely understand. And then I would really love to see you next week. And if you do want to see that, stick around, of course. You can already see something back here. This is a puppet, a wayang puppet, with which they do light shows. Like, I don't know, you have a light which shines through, and then you see the outline of the puppet, and the puppet also has all these holes in it, so it's really fun. I will try and insert a picture here. I am going to try to tell you about my holiday briefly, but in some sort of structured way, because you know me, if you put a penny in, I will start talking for a lot more than that. So I will just try and make this a little bit structured by using a map. So, 1 second. This is the map of Java. And right here in the corner, you see the first small part of Bali. So this is Java, and then to the right of Java, which on this screen is to the left, so I'm sorry about that. I just didn't find the setting to make this unmirrored, these videos. But this is to the right of Java. There is Bali, and Bali looks like this. So I'll start with this. We started here in Jakarta. Focus, come on. Yes. Then we went to Bandung, which we wanted to do by train, but we missed that, as I already mentioned in my last episode, and we went there by bus. And this is where I podcasted last time. Then we took the train from Bandung to Yogyakarta, which is there. And that is where Seep got kind of sick, but because before we left to catch the train, he thought it was a nice idea to buy some fried banana, which I love as well, but I was like, I don't know. He bought it from a cart outside on the streets, and I was like, well, I'm not going to do that yet. Let's just see what happens. That was not a great idea, I can tell you, because as soon as we arrived in Yogyakarta, well, actually the next day, we had breakfast. We had breakfast together, and we were just sitting and eating, and all of a sudden he looked at me and he said, see you later. And then he started running with the key, and I didn't see him for about an hour. Not a good idea to just buy from any place you see. Although those carts do often have the nicest food, so it's kind of, I don't know, but it was not a great idea, and I was glad I didn't take a bite. From there we went to Malang, Let's see if I can see that here. It's not really on the map. But it's somewhere over here in this area. So we went further east. And Malang was a really nice city, which had a lot of left from the Dutch colonial time. A really nice people. It was a nice place. The only thing which was not nice, and I will edit some videos in this story, was the hotel we were in the first night. It was recommended by the Lonely Planet, and I already emailed them to get it out because it was a homestay, and there's nothing wrong with a homestay, but this one was so dirty and so filthy. It was really interesting. We got there and we already walked quite a long time with our backpacks on our back, so we were pretty tired, especially after the whole train trip, which also took us like 7 or 8 hours. And we just got there and we just said, oh, let's get a room. We paid, we got to the room, and we were shocked to death. I killed a cockroach there, which was a score. The bathroom, I shouldn't be telling you about the bathroom, but yeah, it was I almost vomited when I was in there. So I already told Seep, okay, let's just try and get through the night here, and we'll go somewhere else first thing in the morning and shower there, and I do not want to touch anything in this hotel. So we actually kept our clothes on. I said, I'm not going to sleep under the sheets or whatever. Everything was, the wall was covered in mold, so it was green, and there were small insects and things crawling out of the wall. Can you imagine that? And then what they thought was nice was to stick some stickers over those, over the most filthy places on the wall, so we couldn't see. But it's pretty weird when you see all these tiny insects crawling from underneath a sticker. So, and the stickers were a little bit shine through, so that was a little bit stupid as well. So, yeah, I think I'm not going to insert a video or a photo of that here, because then you will stop this video right away. But that was a really interesting night. I left the light on. We slept in our sort of sleeping bags on top of the made bed, and we kept the light on because I said, whatever crawls here, I want to be able to see what it is right away, because if I feel something like crawling on me and I can't see it, I'm literally going to trash the whole place. So we did that, and we didn't get a lot of sleep, but we were really happy to see the sunshine the next morning. So I woke up at around 7 a.m. and I was like, yay, let's get up, let's leave here, let's shower somewhere, and just forget about this. So we did that. So there in Malang, we went to another place, and that's where we booked a tour to Mount Bromo. Mount Bromo is here, and it's a volcano, and it's really nice. And I will insert the videos here. And we also visited the tea plantation on our way to Mount Bromo, I guess. Or, yeah. Yeah, on our way to Mount Bromo, we visited tea plantation, so I bought some really nice tea over there as well.
If you see the worker, they use like a body protector, so like this. They just back here on the. This is the function when they go inside the leg.
After that, we went to Bondowoso, which is really tiny, and it's somewhere between Bromo, which is here, and you can see over here, that's Ijen. Well, somewhere here, it's a tiny village, and that's where we stayed to go climb the Ijen volcano, which has a acid lake in it, in the crater. And that's exactly the place where I made a mistake. It had a swimming pool, but it was also kind of a public swimming pool. So the people of the hotel could use it for free. And other than that, the other people could pay a little, I guess, and use the swimming pool. And it was really hot, so we thought, let's swim there. And the water didn't really look good, but actually I didn't see a lot of swimming pools that did really look good the way we're used to. So it was a little bit milky water, I guess. I don't know. But Seep was already in, and I was like, oh, I'm going to jump in. Well, one tip, never jump in, because I jumped in and I got under the water and I got all that water in my nose, and for some reason I just swallowed it. Well, not intentionally, but it was a lot, so I was like oh, beep. And Seep was like, what? I just swallowed pretty much of this really dirty water. And he was like, oh, that's probably gonna cost you, like, yeah. And I was already aware of the fact that that was not really smart. So, nothing really happened then. We were just there, we had dinner, we got up really early and hiked up the Ijen mountain or volcano, which was a really long hike. It was like 3 kilometers and then really steep up, so it took us a few hours, I think 3 hours, 3 or 4 hours, something like that, without breakfast. So on our way back I was kind of, I don't know, I was a little bit shaky and stuff. But it was really, really beautiful. Just as Mount Bromo, the view is wonderful, which I will show you here. And after that, we were dropped off. We visited the coffee plantation where we saw the luwak, which is cat in Indonesian. They make the kopi luwak there. You might know that from the movie. It's the movie with the bucket list. Maybe it's the bucket list. I don't know. But it's the most expensive coffee in the world, and it's made by these cats that eat the coffee beans or the shells of the coffee beans, and then poop them out, and then they make coffee out of that. So we saw that.
Cafe. Omdat alles in de tuin is moeilijk.
And we also tried it actually. So that which was later. We tried it in Ubud because we couldn't find a place earlier to try it. But I will insert a video of that as well, so you can see what the difference is. And then we got dropped off at the ferry to Bali, which opened a new episode of our holiday, actually, because then we actually had a lot more relaxing time. We went to 3 spots on Bali, which I will show you now. This is Bali, and we started here in Pemutaran, where we stayed like 4 days. Siep went diving from here, and I started knitting on the featherweight cardigan here. Then we went to Ubud with a bit of a detour because we found the address of a really nice antique shop, and antique shop is not the same as we all know it, because it's not some fancy shop, it's just some cardboard. It was just this sheddy type of house with all these different levels, which was full of old stuff coming from temples, from I don't know where it all came from, but it was really old stuff, and it was really beautiful. And we bought some really big carved wooden windows there, and actually managed to take those home with us on the airplane. We did have to buy 2 really big bags to do that, in which were so big that I fit in them. But for some reason it worked out. So that was a detour, and then we went to Ubud, which was really nice. We stayed at a beautiful hotel there, with really great view, that we overlooked the rice fields, which was lovely. And we had the best massage ever over there. And then we went to the last place. Oh, and I didn't show you Ubud, but Ubud is here. And then we went to the last place, which was Candidasa, which is here. And in those last week and a half, we didn't do that many things. As I already said, we got some more time to just relax. We also, sorry for the I still have a little bit of a jet lag. We did rent some scooters, which was really fun, and I will insert a clip about that or on that as well here. And well, next to that, the only thing I did was I got a lot of exercise running to the bathroom, like a few times a day. What Sieb did before, I actually did that almost every day. So then we had breakfast somewhere or in our hotel, and I was like, oh yeah, this pancake's really, give me the key right now. Stuff like that. We were sitting next to the pool, just relaxing, and you know, constantly stuff like, hey, what do you want to drink? I want the key right now. I have to leave. And that was actually the entire last part of our holiday. So from the moment we set foot on Bali, it was wrong. I don't know what happened. I do know what happened, because I think it's all about the swimming water I swallowed before the water from the swimming pool. I don't know, but I do know right now that if you're staying in a country like that, and you can still choose where you're staying, pick a hotel that's which has the restaurant not too far from your room. That's it, the best tip I can give you. The first hotel where we stayed had a really long. The road was pretty far from the sea. So the hotel was a really long strip with a beautiful garden in which you walked all the way through the beach and the restaurant, which was at the beach. The problem is, though, if you're there, either on the beach, by the swimming pool, or eating breakfast, lunch, or dinner, you have a pretty long way back to go to your room. And I do kind of feel a lot more comfortable by going to my room then, instead of going to the public toilets. So, yeah, you have to, either make sure you're in the right hotel, or make sure you can sprint pretty fast, because otherwise accidents happen. That's all I'm going to say about that, but we had quite a bit of fun about that. Don't drink wrong water is actually the best tip I can give you. Don't do that. Don't eat salads, because they're often washed with the wrong water. Make sure you don't actually have ice cubes in your soft drinks, because often they are from the wrong water as well, and stuff like that. Because it's not nice when it gets to you. And for some reason it didn't leave me. I don't know why. But okay, enough about that. I don't know what else to tell you. I mean, I could tell you loads of stuff about it, because obviously telling you about it in 15 or 20 minutes, I don't know how long. I'm already talking quite long, I guess. But if you have any questions about the trip, the holiday, you can just ask me. And other than that, I'm not going to bore you with all the stuff from this holiday. And from next week on, I will have tried to have normal episodes again, where I'm not, I don't know, where my mind is back a little bit, you know, that it's a little bit more organized or stuff like that. Although that's not really in my nature, I guess. I don't know. But I will do. I will try to do that. Other than that, I wish you a really nice week. I would love to hear from you. So tell me what weather you guys have right now, because I think that's interesting. And tell me what kind of projects you want to knit for gift knitting for the holiday season. I would like some extra inspiration for that as well. And anything else you want to tell me, I would love to hear it. Have a great week. Knit something nice, or not, whatever you want to do. And I hope to see you guys next week. Bye!